I need some advice, Kate. Okay. I have an ethical dilemma. I am unsure if, and when, I should break attorney-client privilege. Is it ever okay to break it? There are a few exceptions, but it relies on what you ethically think should be done. You have to follow the ethical guidelines of the Bar Association as well as your personal ethics. Can you help me think through a hypothetical situation? Of course. I am going to ask you a series of questions and you just have to think through them. That sounds like a good idea. What is the actual action that causes you to have this issue? What are the actions that you could take in order to resolve this problem? The dilemma is whether or not to break attorney-client privilege and report my client for covering up a crime. I have the choice to report it and free an innocent person or keep silent. If you choose to act in any way, what are your underlying reasons for doing it? Are your reasons ethical in and of themselves? If I chose to not report, an innocent person will stay in prison for a crime someone else committed. If I do nothing, I will be helping to cover up a crime, but if I do act, I would be breaking privilege. Yet, by acting, I would be freeing an innocent man. Still, is it okay to break privilege in this situation? Remember that you have to follow the guidelines of the Bar Association as well as your own personal ethics. You have a duty to both yourself and your client. If you are thinking about breaking attorney-client privilege, remember your duties to your client. The person told me about a crime that they committed that someone else is serving time for. They has no intention of coming forward and fixing this problem. It is my duty to provide legal advice, but I am also not supposed to help cover up a crime or commit fraud. Are your duties to your client going to conflict with personal and social duties? If so, you need to weigh the cost of your duty to your client with personal concerns. My duty to protect my client is in great conflict with my personal ethics. My duty to my client is to help protect them and provide them a fair and just experience in the judicial system. My personal duty is not allow a person to suffer an injustice or miscarriage of the law when I know about it. Whichever action you choose, are you respecting the rights of all parties involved? The innocent man's rights have been limited because he is falsely imprisoned. If I break privilege, I will help to correct for this. Yet, if I report, am I harming my client's rights? If you choose one action or another, are you sacrificing one person's rights over another? If so, why are you doing this? No matter what I do, someone will face the loss of personal rights, either through one remaining in prison or other going to prison for it. Am I following what I think is right over doing my duty to my client? In the end, whichever choice you make, would someone else in your same position make this choice? If you apply everything equally, would you act in the same fashion no matter what your client is like? I am representing him for this crime and he is not seeking legal advice concerning his past offenses. I have to follow both my own ethics and comply with carrying out my duties as a lawyer. If anyone else were in my position, would they consider the rights of their client above others? I don't believe they would. Also remember, there are exceptions to attorney-client privilege, such as the crime and fraud exception. If the situation fits this, the question then becomes, should you say anything or keep quiet? That is true. This exception allows for a lawyer to break privilege if the client told them something and by keeping it they would be covering up a crime. Thank you for your help. I know what I'm going to do, but first I'm going to tell the Bar Association. I want to let them know that I plan to use this exception, why I'm using it, and when. I need to act in a way that is right while carrying out my duties as a lawyer. Under this exception, that part of the conversation is not privileged. I am glad that I could help you think this through. Let me know how it goes.